Everyone loves to save money.
And we're here to help you play the best games at the lowest possible price. Hi, I'm Marky.
And I'm Freddy, and today we got great deals for Xbox, so stay tuned and let's get started.
For Xbox, our first retailer is going to be over at Amazon, and we've got two games at a lovingly confusing looking prices. That is Doom Eternal for $14.82 and Fallout 4 for $9.21. Of course, we're going to even it around to $15 or $10 pretty much for each. Doom Eternal, of course, is one of the biggest shooters that was out recently, came out during 2020. A sequel to Doom that came out in 2016. Of course, as we've said for past 4 or 5, oh my gosh, almost 6 years now. Doom is back and it's better than ever. It's been crazier. It has a little bit more platforming challenges, so I think there's actually a little bit more than shooting going on with it. I enjoyed it to an immense degree, so I would, of course, be recommending it here. And Fallout 4 is the last one that was made before 76, which is more of a live service title. And of course, for those who are in the know, 76 has had a rough patch. I have no idea what state that game is in, but I can vouch that Fallout 4, while it made some changes with the story structure, it's still tried and true a Fallout game. And thankfully, with it being so older, but still a fantastic one, it's pretty good steal at $10. Heck, the game has recently been updated on next generation systems, or like Xbox One and PS4, to support mods, so that even if you played it already, you can try it again completely fresh. And continuing with Amazon, we've got Crash 4. It's about time for $28.99. I actually recently completed this game. Of course, Crash is back, and this one is surprisingly faithful to the classic Crash Bandicoot games on the original PlayStation. By that I mean it's challenging, it's creative, it's got a story that's worth investing into, and it's got actually a lot of things to collect. And the difficulty does ramp up increasingly if you do decide to go after those collectibles. So it's accessible but challenging for those who are looking for something a little bit more, meat on the bone to jump into. And lastly, we had a tried and true game that we mentioned a lot on this channel, and it's Resident Evil 2 for $12.99. One of the lowest I think we've seen, but we always go around and around for Resident Evil. Being a remake of the original Resident Evil 2, it's a complete from the ground up remake. It's fantastic with its performance, with the graphics looking, with the combat, the multiple play methods. It became a smash hit when it hit, and it's still just kind of been talked about today, even with the remake of Resident Evil 3. And so anybody who has yet to jump on this, it's definitely worth grabbing, and it can't be stated enough. Of course, Amazon's not the only retailer we have. I'm going to throw it over to Freddie, who's got a few more waiting for you.
Now we will move to GameStop, which has a few games on sale. And the first one I will mention is WWE 2K22 pre-owned for $41.99. This is all-time low for the recently released game. This is the newest WWE game in the series, and maybe the best one. It got a lot of praise from reviewers. It still has some mistakes here and there, some glitches, but definitely one of the best looking games. And in terms of gameplay, they changed a lot of the mechanics to make it smooth and easy to pick up and get used to it. Next game I will mention, also all-time low, is NHL 22 for $19.99, and it's currently on sale at GameStop and other retailers. And we chose GameStop because you can apply the $5 monthly coupon on this game, so you can knock it down to $15 if you want to. You get the monthly coupon by having the membership at GameStop, just like $15 a month, and you get $5 coupon for entire 12 months. So it's totally worth it. And for those who watch our channel and subscribe, maybe you snagged the deals when they had NHL 22 for $7 on Amazon. Maybe price mistake, maybe not, but I got it at a cheaper price, but still $19.99 is great for this price. Another game I'm going to mention is GTA The Trilogy, the Definitive Edition. This has a remaster for the old GTAs, GTA 3, the Vice City, and I forgot which one was the third one. Marky, do you know?
For the trilogy, it was Vice City, GTA 3, and San Andreas.
San Andreas, yes, that's correct. This remaster definitely fixed up the graphics, fixed up the frames. It has some glitches, but with time they're improving them, and the game now is much better than when it was released, and still more updates are coming to it. And currently it's for $36.99, all-time low as well. I think if you're not in a hurry, the price will drop more, but this is a good price if you want to jump on it. Another retailer I'm going to mention is Gamefly, which still have the sale on pre-owned games, and I personally bought from them many times, and they were good quality games. The first game I'm gonna mention is Marvel's Guardian of the Galaxy for 17.99. This game was nominated for a lot of rewards in the Game Awards this last year. It's a great adventure game based on the comics or even the movie. Definitely people who have idea about the comics will enjoy this game more, where you play as Peter most of the game. But if you just watch the movie, you're gonna pick up the game very quick and really enjoy it. It's a great adventure game and I highly recommend it. Another game that is great at GameFly for the price is Call of Duty Vanguard for 24.99. And this is definitely Call of Duty is always hesitant to lower the price on their newest title. So 24.99 is very fair. And if you buy it at this price, maybe there's a high chance you can trade it in on GameStop for $15 when there's a promo, and we will mention them whenever GameStop has them in future videos.
We've reached the point of the video where if you've been enjoying what you've been seeing, or if you've been learning something new on how to save money, feel free to click the like button as well as subscribe. And of course, jump down into the comment section. We're always paying attention and making sure our community grows into a group of people who are willing to play the best games but don't want to break the bank doing it. We've recently been branching out into other social medias to kind of keep you informed because, as you know, deals can happen in the course of 24 hours, big flash sales, stuff like that. We want to make sure we have all the avenues covered. So we've actually got an Instagram going up. We're going to put it up on the screen here. So anybody jumping on Instagram is more than willing to jump in on the same deals we've been mentioning and then some. And of course, here on YouTube, the YouTube stories. We've been throwing our subscribers out those really quick deals for any kind of quick flash sales that might be jumping up so that you can jump on them as soon as you can. So keep an eye out for those as we're branching out and getting ever bigger.
We are also providing a $10 giveaway from Xbox Microsoft Store for somebody who really follow our channel through different platforms. I will have a link in the description below so you can join us in the channel, and hopefully you will be a winner whenever we reach 300 subscribers. Also, we recently posted a new discussion video. This is the first time we published like a discussion on the spot. We didn't have script for it or anything, but the comparison between the new PlayStation Plus and the Xbox Game Pass. So if you're interested in watching that, you will see a link for it popping up on the screen right now.
Moving on to Best Buy, and actually we've got a couple of games here that are on sale, so if you're ever around to Best Buy, here's your chance. First one is going to be actually a recent release, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, down to $44.99. It's pretty good for a game that's really only about a month old. And for those who are kind of a little confused on the name and haven't been catching up to the marketing, it's a Borderlands, I say spin-off with a question mark, because I think Borderlands 3 is still getting more content, and I think that's going to be its main one. This is just something that's kind of come up alongside it. The biggest thing about Wonderlands is that it's still that gameplay that you know from Borderlands, just a classic shooter, but with a Dungeons and Dragons style. So any tabletop players are going to really enjoy it. And it's got an all-star cast too. So even like more vibrant than what I thought Borderlands 3 was able to pull off. And the writing is top notch. Borderlands 3's got some iffy ones, but Wonderlands, I'd say for sure, at least so far, is fantastic. And getting it at this price is even better. Another one is Disco Elysium. We mentioned it a few times, but I will say it again. I have not played it. It's at $19.99, which is a great price. I've not played it, but it is being described as a game of a generation for a lot of people. It's a RPG in the sense of like a conversational thing. You're trying to solve a murder. It's got like that top-down isometric view, but there's a lot of like hubbub going around it. And if you're interested like me, I'd recommend grabbing it right now so that we can both experience it together. And another one that we mention a lot on this channel is Immortals Fenyx Rising, the tried and true. It's at $14.99. We always throw it out there, of course. Assassin's Creed, Breath of the Wild gameplay. Do you like all that? Do you like it at $15? Because it was releasing at $60, but we all know how Ubisoft games are. So if you haven't got it yet, add it to the collection. And Control Standard Edition for $9.49. Control Standard Edition, this is not the one that's going to get you the next gen upgrade, but for people who are not so invested in that, $10 is a great price for this one. This is one of those games that we're getting a lot of different rewards in the Game Awards. I think it won a few. I don't have the full chart, but a third-person thriller sci-fi style like shooter with superpowers. If any of those words interest you, then this is worth grabbing and at least checking it out for that price. Very low investment. The last one is one that I highly recommend, which is Mass Effect Legendary Edition for $24.99. Collection of all 3 Mass Effect games in one big package. They completely reworked Mass Effect 1 to kind of fit more in line with what the later 2 games would do. So if you have played it before, this is a fresh look, I'd say, especially if you're going to be starting from 1. But it's a sci-fi epic that I think anybody should experience. It feels almost like a milestone in the industry, at least in my opinion, but I can go into a whole discussion about that. And Best Buy's deals are not over. Freddie has got even more waiting in the wings for you.
Thank you, Marky. Yeah, Best Buy really tried this week. These days most likely will expire on Sunday midnight, so make sure if you're interested in any of these games, you get them before that time. One game I'm gonna mention in particular is Blair Witch for $10.99. This game is a scary thriller game where you really need to put the headphones on, turn all the lights, and you'll be playing as a character walking in the forest at night, and with just having a flashlight with him and the dog. So it's a very scary game in a good way. Definitely you'll just see one step ahead of you only. Yeah, you're not gonna see too much. You'll be always feel that somebody is watching you and you'll be running away from it. So if you want these kind of games, I'm not a big fan personally, but if you like these kind of games, definitely it's a good one. It's a great party game. If you have some friends coming over to play it and have some good laughs, I highly recommend it, especially at this price. Another game I'm gonna mention is Battlefield 5 Standard Edition for $5.49. This game is a World War II first-person shooter. The game got a big hit and complaints when it was first released because it has a lot of bugs and mistakes, but now a lot of these bugs are fixed. So the game is definitely playable and it's a lot of fun. If you like first-person shooting in a World War environment, and it's a very large scale. You can play it. You have a campaign, maybe 8 hours long. That's very diverse, take you to different places. Or you can play it with friends online versus other players. Maybe to be like 20 versus 20 or something like that. A third game I'm going to mention is a Plague Tale Innocence for $19.99. This game, we've been watching this game for a year now and never dropped below this $19.99, although PlayStation Plus owners got this game for free as a monthly reward. So if you have a PlayStation, maybe check your library first. But if you have an Xbox, this game at this price seems very fair for it, and GameStop will trade it in for $15 store credit most of the time when they have the promos. So it's a great game. A lot of stealth. You'll be playing other brother and sister running away. I don't want to spoil the story. You'll be running away a lot. It has a lot of stealth mechanics, and in fact, the story is really good. It takes place when there was a plague era, and the story is good. That Netflix, or I think Amazon, one of these, is sponsoring making a series out of it, and we know that another part 2 is coming, also is in development right now, and I highly recommend it. It's maybe also maybe 9 hours to beat out the game, but I highly recommend it at this price.
Lastly, for the deals, we're over at the Microsoft Store, so we're going digital here, folks. No discs to pre-found. And the first one is Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order for $9.99. I will say, if you own the Game Pass or a subscriber to the Xbox Game Pass, it should be in there, part of the EA Play thing, I believe. But if you don't, or if you're looking to own it yourself, this is another get. And I'd say it's worth grabbing because talk is already, being spun around about a sequel. And Star Wars is getting big with the celebration coming up with TV shows. I feel like it's all going to start mingling together. So if you want to keep an eye on your Star Wars lore, jump in on it. It's a Dark Souls-like game, but the challenge is not really there like a Dark Souls game. It's got some challenge for sure, but it's actually a nice kind of gateway thing to get you really into that kind of style of combat. And it's got a great story to boot. Another one is Killer Queen. I can't speak on that one. Killer Queen Black for $14.99. This was an indie developed title that caught a lot of attention just because of its asymmetrical multiplayer. So there's essentially 3 different ways to win a team-based game where you're playing different roles and essentially how you decide to win. Do you have to get something across the other side of the board? You've got to maybe drop enough things in the enemy team's goal, and I can't remember what the third goal is, but it's actually very well interlinked. So there's multiple things to keep track of, and I know a lot of people who enjoy those competitive multiplayer or team-based games can really get a kick out of the kind of strategy that comes out of this. And it's one screen, pixel style, but there's a lot to keep track of. That's good for some people, bad for some, but it's a great price too, because it was coming around $30, I want to say. So seeing it half off is a great get. And anybody who's interested in kind of keeping multiple things on track, communicating with teammates, and just trying to, keep the lead on your opponents because it could change in a moment's notice, this is the game to grab. And then lastly, we've got Hot Shot Racing for $3.99. And that is a fantastic price because I bought it at full price because I'm a big fan of those classic Sega Saturn, Sega Dreamcast kind of racing games. Sega Rally GT, Virtual Racing, that kind of stuff. And this game definitely kind of honors that a little bit. It's obviously more modern. It's got the styles of those old Saturn games, but it's definitely more modern in that you can customize your car, you can customize your racer, and it's got some interesting tracks and obviously a lot more interesting high energy Eurobeat music, which I think is a good amount of fun and enough nostalgia to keep me going. And it's honestly just a really good time. You can throw on some quick online races. There's single player modes, and of course the customization is all there with different challenges for you to tackle to unlock different parts of the cars or different cars altogether. And there's enough to mess with in here, and like I said, I got it at full price and I'm having a great time. $4, it's a no-brainer. So definitely grab it if you even have paid attention to any arcade racers in the past. And of course, Microsoft Store is not done. Freddie here has got even more games waiting for you.
Thank you, Marky. Two quick games I'll mention really quick. One of them is A Hat in Time for $14.99. This game is very similar to Mario 64. If you like an adventure game in a very cartoony way, platformer, this is definitely the game to go. The only difference is that instead of playing as a Mario, you'll be playing with a character that has a hat, and this hat has different abilities that will be using to give you extra power and extra abilities in different themes to use. The game is very diverse. You'll go in the snow and the ocean and the nature, and it has like very Mario 64 vibe to it. So for this price, definitely is worth it, and this is the lowest we have seen for this game. Another game I'm gonna mention really quick is Ace Combat 7 Skies Unknown, also for the same price, $14.99. This is the newest in the series for Ace Combat, and maybe the best one. Visually fantastic. The story is also really good. There's always something going on, a spin to the mission that you have. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but I played it, I really enjoyed it. It's very diverse. The airplane, you can upgrade the way you want, and they keep push you to change the airplane and choose what's best fit based on the mission. Maybe the first two missions will be repetitive a little bit, but then after that, the game will open up and will challenge you in a different way that I have not seen before. Great game at this price, and this is what I got. Thank you guys for watching.
Yeah, we had a lot of games for Xbox. So were there any of those that are your favorites? Are any of the deals definitely worth interesting more to you? Feel free to throw your comments down below. We're always paying attention. And of course, like Instagram, our stories, and the giveaway, we're paying attention to all of our community feedback as we continue to grow the community.
And also remember, if you got PlayStation or Nintendo, we got separate playlists for those. And please help our channel by subscribing and recommend it to your friends.
See you guys real soon.
See you soon.